Hey, what's up, folks? Rapid fire video for you today. The first story is Hillary Clinton is protested by pro-Palestinian protesters. And the second story is Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, is suing Pfizer. I'm going to read exactly what he posts. First, let's react to this Hillary Clinton video. Take their demands. Take their demands. Shame on you. Shame on you. See, this is where it gets dicey, just condemning all protests and stuff and trying to shut them down. Me personally, I like this type of protest. I like seeing people in the Democrat establishment have their pawns and own support base turn against them over foreign policy. The First Amendment is key. As long as the protest is peaceful, I think people have the right to peacefully protest. And it's important not to exaggerate about that, because then we don't get gems like this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Second story is Ken Paxton, Attorney General of Texas, is apparently suing Pfizer, and I'm going to read exactly what he wrote right here. Before I read it, isn't it interesting that they tried to kick Ken Paxton out a couple months ago? I do find that fascinating. It says, for immediate release, November 30th, 2023, Attorney General Ken Paxton sues Pfizer for misrepresenting COVID-19 vaccine efficacy and conspiring to censor public discourse. Wow. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has sued Pfizer Incorporated for unlawfully misrepresenting the effectiveness of the company's COVID-19 vaccine and attempting to censor public discussion of the product. Pfizer engaged in false, deceptive, and misleading acts and practices by making unsupported claims regarding the company's COVID-19 vaccine in violation of the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The pharmaceutical company's widespread representation that its vaccine possessed 95% efficacy against infection was highly misleading. That metric represented a calculation of the so-called relative risk reduction for vaccinated individuals in Pfizer's initial 2-month clinical trial results. FDA publications indicate relative risk reduction is a misleading statistic that unduly influences consumer choice. Pfizer was also put on notice at the time that vaccine protection could not accurately be predicted beyond 2 months. Nevertheless, Pfizer fostered a misleading impression that vaccine protection was durable and withheld from the public information that undermined its claims about the duration of protection. And despite the fact that its clinical trial failed to measure whether the vaccine protects against transmission, Pfizer embarked on a campaign to intimidate the public into getting the vaccine as a necessary measure to protect their loved ones. In fact, Pfizer's product failed to live up to the company's representations. COVID-19 cases increased after widespread vaccine administration, and in some areas saw a greater percentage of deaths from COVID-19 among the vaccinated population than the unvaccinated. When the failure of its product became apparent, Pfizer then pivoted to silencing truth tellers. The lawsuit notes, how did Pfizer respond when it became apparent that its vaccine was failing and the viability of its cash cow was threatened? By intimidating those spreading the truth and by conspiring to censor its critics. Pfizer labeled as criminals those who spread facts about the vaccine. It accused them of spreading, quote, misinformation, and it coerced social media platforms to silence prominent truth tellers. We are pursuing justice for the people of Texas, many of whom were coerced by tyrannical vaccine mandates to take a defective product sold by lies, says Attorney General Paxton. The facts are clear. Pfizer did not tell the truth about their COVID vaccines. Whereas the Biden administration weaponized the pandemic to force illegal public health decrees on the public and enrich pharmaceutical companies, I will use every tool I have to protect our citizens who were misled and harmed by Pfizer's actions. The lawsuit follows Attorney General Paxton's investigation into Pfizer and other vaccine manufacturers announced earlier this year. Wow. Let me know what you think in the comments. Share this video if you like it or find it informative. Let's see how this plays out in court. And thank you everybody for watching, sharing, or following my page. God bless you. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, stay blessed long sleeve, God is great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me.